Hey everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Mackenzie, aka AstroMac. I'm an astrologer and a metaphysician, and I'm here to share my astrological musings with you all. Today, I want to talk about Venus signs. If you pay attention to transits or you listen to any astrology podcasts or other astrologers out there, then you probably know that Venus just stationed retrograde on March 1st. And I feel like when you hear retrograde, it kind of brings up this image of oh no, it's bad, chaos or whatever, but retrogrades are not a bad thing. They are just a part of the cycle. I feel like there can be a lot of doom and gloom when it comes to astrology, and there really doesn't have to be. When Venus is retrograde, this is a time of turning inward. It's also a time of doing a lot of self-reflection and reevaluating things. Venus represents our wants and our needs and our values and our feelings of self-love and self-worth, and it's also our relationships and it's what we want out of our relationships. It also represents our ability to take in all of what life has to offer, through the senses, and that includes beauty. So when Venus is retrograde, this is a time of profound interpersonal development, especially because it will be retrograding through Aries and then back into Pisces. We'll be reassessing what our true needs are and what we truly value, asking if what we want is truly in alignment with what we need to make our lives feel more fulfilling. As we grow and evolve through life, it's only natural that our values also change and evolve with us. And so this retrograde is giving us the opportunity to kind of go over our set of values and see if they are still meaningful to us or if they've changed in some way. With Venus's transit through Aries, this is going to be a time of really getting to know ourselves on a deep level and getting to know what your true wants and needs and desires are. What are those things that kind of ignite that passion and that inner flame within you? When we follow what we're passionate about, that's kind of a guiding force back to ourselves and getting to know ourselves on a really deep level. And so you can kind of think of the purpose of this Venus retrograde is that it's kind of guiding you back to yourself. And it's also helping you to get in touch with your truest desires and kind of help you discover what truly matters to you. This is also an opportunity to kind of reevaluate where you are in life and seeing how your set of values are reflected in your life and in your feelings of self-worth and also within your relationships. What is your relationship to those things? What kind of people are you attracting right now? Do they reflect how you feel about yourself? And do they reflect your level of self-worth right now? And so to help with the feelings of self-worth, that's why I thought I would make a video about, my favorite things about each of the Venus signs. Just in case you might be feeling a little low or a little down on yourself, you can come back to this video and kind of help give you a boost, hopefully. Actually, you know what? Your homework for this Venus retrograde is to make a list of everything that you like about yourself or even love about yourself and make it like a running list that you can add to every single day. Before going forward, just keep in mind that this is a very, very general thing. So if you don't resonate with it, it might be something else in your chart. It could be your house placement of your Venus or any aspects being made to your Venus. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you would like a more specific reading tailored to you and your chart, then you can go ahead and book a reading with me down below at the link in my bio. All right, starting off with Aries Venus. Aries, I love how bold you are and how you're not afraid to ask for exactly what it is that you want. It's you know exactly what you want and you're not going to settle for anything less. I also love how passionate you are and how you are basically guided by those passions. You guys also tend to be the trendsetters, where it's you want to be the first person to do something or wear something or, learn something, whatever it is, you want to be the first. And you always do it boldly because you're not afraid to take risks. Another thing I love about you is you guys are just some of the realest people out there. You just keep it real and you will always, always, always have your friends back. I also love your honesty, even though sometimes it might be a little blunt, but you just tell it how it is. And I know some people might consider this a flaw or whatever, but I also kind of love your impulsivity because you're able to just kind of act on instincts. It's those intuitive, instinctual nudges. You just kind of follow those. You don't sit around and think about it. it, you just kind of do it. Taurus Venus. I love a Taurus Venus. You know, these are the people who, they're kind of like always there. They'll always be there for you. They're kind of like that rock solid. And just don't piss them off though, because they can hold a grudge. But yeah, you can just like count on them no matter what to be there for you. These are the people who, like, when you put an effort in the relationship, they will almost like double that effort because they really want their people to do well in life. And Taurus Venus is, you know, you guys know how to have like the chillest night in, and you just create this like cozy, chill, comfy, safe environment. And I always feel like I'm safe to like be myself when I'm with a Taurus Venus. I also love your grounding presence that you have. And you know, Venus is at home in Taurus, so like those sensual, lovey, earthy, Venusian qualities just really shine through. I also love how bougie you guys can be, and you try and like hide that a little bit. It's not that you're materialistic or anything, but it's okay to like nice things and like the finer things in life. Like if I want to know where to get like the finest dining, I'm gonna ask a Taurus Venus because they're gonna know. Gemini Venus. You guys are some of the most fun people to be around, and coming from a Gemini rising who loves to yap, you guys can keep up with me. You can yap like there's no tomorrow. Like, you know those people who you can just like talk and talk and talk and talk to and it never gets boring? Those people probably have a Gemini Venus. I also love how like no topic is off limits with you. You will go anywhere and everywhere. Wherever the conversation goes, you will go there. It kind of doesn't matter how deep the conversation is or how surface level it is. Again, you can just yap with the best of us. I also love your sense of curiosity and how you never stop learning. It's kind of like knowledge is just like soul food for you. I also love how when you're talking to someone, it's kind of like you are so easily able to get the information that you want out of them. And you do it like so smoothly. It's like this innate like charm that you have. I also love how you always have a story for something. I'm a big fan of story times, and so I can listen to your stories all day. It's like you have a story that applies to any situation. And it's because you've had just like so many different interesting life experiences. You guys also have the best laugh. It's just like this bubbly, like effervescent, contagious laugh. Like it almost makes you feel like giddy. I also love how you guys are just like a little bit mischievous. There's something very endearing about it. Cancer Venus. You guys are like the true sweetie pies of the zodiac. I love how when you have accepted somebody into your circle, how you are able to just make them feel so loved and cared for and accepted. Like you have this ability to truly make people feel like they're family and that they're important and that they belong. It's truly such a beautiful trait to have, but then it's also funny because on that same coin, when you don't like someone or you don't accept them, you have this ability to ice people out like no one else. It's usually for a reason though, because you guys are so sensitive and intuitive, you're picking up on things that most other people aren't. So when you're trying to ice someone out, I try to pay attention to that because it's probably for a good reason and I usually trust your judgment. I also love how protective you are of your people, and that's why you can really ice people out of the group because you want the best for the group, the family, if you will. You're also kind of like Taurus Venus in the way that you're able to create like a cozy, nurturing, warm, loving environment. Like you're able to create spaces that just feel like home, and I feel at home in your presence. These are also the people who remember the little things. Like they'll be the ones texting you, asking how an appointment went, or, you know, if it's an anniversary of some kind. These are the people who remember those things and always be sure to check in on their people. Truly just so thoughtful. Leo Venus. A Leo Venus is somebody who's not hard to kind of like pick out from a crowd because they always look 10 out of 10. I love how you have this ability to kind of create a certain warmth and light from within yourself, and it kind of exudes, and it's almost like it's projected onto the people that you're around as well. It's like you just have this warm presence, and you're able to make those people around you just feel like almost the most important person in the world. And I just think that is beautiful. Your loyalty is also super admirable, like your love and devotion to people. I also love how creative you are and your ability to see the beauty and the potential in things. You also have like this wonderful connection to your inner child, and so there's a level of playfulness and you're just always so fun to be around. I also love your ability to be guided by those things that kind of, ignite that spark in your heart. It's a very heart-centered sign and it's very apparent. Virgo Venus. These are truly some of the most pretty people you will ever meet, like Bella Hadid. These are the people that acts of service really is your love language. I love how you guys always have like a solution or a remedy for things. Like if someone has a sore throat or something, you're like, oh, well, have you heard of these cough drops? Like, they're the best. And it's always some brand that like nobody's ever even heard of. And your way of showing people you care is kind of by showing up for people and doing things for them. Like you're that person who will kind of help a person clean their house if they're dealing with like a bout of depression or whatever. You always show up for your people, and I love that about you. I also love how smart you guys are and how you just have this like amazing common sense. Truly such an underrated quality in this day and age. These are the people who will just kind of help cut to the chase, and they will give you that no bullshit advice. Even if it's a hard truth to hear, like these people will give it to you, but they're doing it because they care about you. Because once they stop caring about you, you're kind of like cut out of their life. I also love how like crafty you are and how you're kind of like an expert at everything you try. I swear, you guys are the people who are like good at everything. Libra Venus. I love how you have the ability to connect with all kinds of people from all walks of life. You're able to find that equilibrium and find that sense of harmony and find that common ground. And it doesn't matter how different you are, you're able to find some kind of connection. I also love how you're able to create a balanced sense of like beauty. Like you're able to make things look aesthetically pleasing. And you do it just so naturally and with a certain grace to you. You also have this ability to make like hard things look easy. Like no matter how much effort you put in, you're like, it ain't no thing. You can always tell you're around a Libra Venus when there's somebody in the group who's like working on getting everybody together and on the same page. And yes, they're doing this for the group, but they're also doing it for themselves, because when people are like unharmonized, it really messes with their internal world. Like if there's someone in the group who's feeling down or whatever, the Libra Venus is the one who's going to be trying to cheer them up and kind of bring them up and bring everyone together on the same wavelength. These are also some incredibly thoughtful people, always thinking about, the well-being of the other person or, the well-being of the group, sometimes to the detriment of their own well-being. So beware the people-pleasing, Libra Venus. Scorpio Venus. I love your underlying intensity. These are the people that when you're in relationship with them, whether it's friends or dating, these are the people who are able to see you beyond your surface level and still accept who you are. These are the people who really like the dark and shadowy aspects of people, because they're aware that like that is what makes people human. And so these are the people that will ask like those deep probing questions, because they want to know like your deepest, darkest secrets and like your traumas, and they just want to know who you are. Scorpio Venuses are the people who want like that soul deep, like blood ritual, multi-past life connection. Like they want that feeling in all of their relationships. I also love how you're not really able to do things half-assed. It's like all or nothing, and if it's going all in, it's gonna be an obsession. And I feel like it gets a bad rep sometimes with like that obsession. But like the people who can withstand your intensity and like your ability to just go there, those are your people. The ones who don't know their shadow, or the ones who don't necessarily like diving to the pits of the underworld, maybe those aren't your people. I also love how whatever you touch, it transforms. It's a very, very beautiful quality. I also love how when it's time to let go, you will not do it. You will dig your stinger into whatever is trying to be away from you, and you will leave them forever scarred. I promise this isn't a read, I'm just a Scorpio Venus, so this is experience. Sagittarius Venus. These are some people who also know how to have some fun. Kind of like Gemini, you've also had a lot of different life experiences. And from those experiences, you like to share like your wisdom from that because you only really learn through experience. I also love your free-spirited energy, and you just have like this desire to expand your horizons, and whether that's traveling, learning, or even just like meeting new people, whatever it is. These are the people that like when you talk to someone one year and then the next, like they're going to be different because they've had a wide range of experiences within that time. I also love your reluctance to settle down. Like you will if it's with somebody who can keep up with you, but not many people can. I also love how you're always down for an adventure. Like if I were to text you tonight and be like, let's book a trip to Europe or wherever, you're the one who's down to clown. Like you would find the money somehow because you love that shit. I also love how you're always down to discuss like philosophy and the meaning of life and whatever you're interested in at that time. Because honestly, people want what you know. Mostly, I love how you always remind me that it's okay to dream big. You have this sense of, again, expansion, and sometimes it's hard for people without Sagittarius placements to remember that. Capricorn Venus. I love how stable and secure and grounded I feel around you. You have this presence that is just so like rock solid in yourself, that is so unwavering, and I really appreciate that. I also love your ability to have so much patience within your relationships. Like you understand that an empire isn't built in a day, and so you're in no rush to kind of like share everything all at once. Like you are able to just take things slow and just one step at a time, and you kind of help remind me that it's okay to slow down. You also help remind me that I should celebrate the little things in life, and every small celebration is important. You guys are truly some of the chillest. Like you have this ability to just be in the moment. Aquarius Venus. I love how much you love your friends. Like your friends and your communities, they're kind of like your life. And you're the kind of person who would drop anything for your friends. I also love your ability to see like the unique and the weird and the difference and still accept that and kind of almost like bring attention to that. You value the unique and the interesting, and you're able to kind of help me see things from different eyes. I also love how you're very much able to just like be yourself. Like you don't really care about fitting in with the crowd or whatever that is. You don't need to fit in. It's kind of like you actually need to be different. You guys usually have some of like the most interesting hobbies and interests, and I always just want to learn from you. I also love how I never quite know what to expect from you. Sometimes you can be a bit like unpredictable or, changeable, but that's exciting. And last but not least, we have Pisces Venus. You guys are some of the most whimsical, beautiful, wonderful people to be around. And when people are around you, it's almost like magic and synchronicities and signs from the universe just start showing up. You guys are up there as well with some of like the chillest people. You know when it's time to chill, and then you also know when it's time to party. Like whether it's going to a concert or staying home and listening to music or watching a movie. You have this ability to make every interaction just feel like an experience. And it's like you're able to really absorb people into your, fantastical little world. I also love your sensitivity. It's something that really truly is a gift. I love how compassionate and caring you are, and you're able to empathize. Even if you don't have a same or a similar life experience as people, you're still able to somehow meet people where they are emotionally. And you're able to make those connections that kind of transcend time and space. It's kind of a little bit like that past life connection as well. I love how no matter what, you're able to still see the magic and the beauty in the world as well. But yeah, that's all I've got. That's just some of the things that I love about each of the Venus signs. There's so much more that I could say, and there's so much more that I want to say, but I will just leave it there for now. If If you're not subscribed to me already, be sure to subscribe to me down below. I'm planning on making more YouTube videos moving forward. And special shout out to Nicholas of Sparkles of Gold Astrology for, really urging me to get on YouTube. I'm taking the chance. And then obviously my Astro Fight Club friends, Casey, Jen, Kathy, Nick, Shane, I love you guys. But yeah, that's all I've got for now. And so until next time, love you, bye.